I just spent like 5 minutes rambling at the camera without turning it on, in case you're wondering how my morning is going. This is absolutely correct. White culture is, in fact, white supremacy. The hierarchies that we've been talking about that white people will root themselves in the US, a lot of times out of not having anything else to root themselves in, are based in white supremacy. And the reason that I distinguish between white supremacy and whiteness, values of whiteness, is not because I think they're necessarily different things. It's because I think they need to be unpacked separately. And let me illustrate what I mean. Let's talk about parenting. So I'm a parent. I have parents. I have two parents who very much loved us. I was blessed with two parents who cared very much about trying not to reproduce their toxic and abusive home environments in our home. And they did manage to break, like, cycles. They did their best. But, like many people their age, my parents didn't have the knowledge or the resources to unpack their own trauma from their families of origin and to analyze and, like, figure out the value systems that they had inherited that they were parenting from. And so they still ended up reproducing a lot of the generational cycles, even though they were trying not to, because they still had that unprocessed hurt and those unexamined values, right? And so as a parent myself, like, I'm trying to, like, I had to process the hurt that I got from my family of origin, and then I had to process the values and the traumas and the triggers that I got from my family of origin in order to avoid passing those on to my kid. And that's very much what I see in a lot of white Americans today, especially, the progressive white women that I know, is we're all trying so hard to distance ourselves and from our abusive white supremacist family of origin. And we're trying so hard not to reproduce that harm, but we haven't examined our own traumas from that environment. And we haven't figured out how to break down and reassess and rebuild our value system. So we end up reproducing these patterns, even though in a lot of cases, some cases it's intentional, some cases it's deliberate ignorance, some cases it's not intentional. But regardless, like, that's what happens, right? If you don't analyze the value system that you grew up with and heal your own trauma, you're going to pass that on. And we're still passing it on, even though we're trying to distance ourselves from our white supremacist family of origin. And so that's really, like, one of the main reasons why I sit in the car and talk to you guys about this, because I feel like this is an area that really needs to be discussed and unpacked a lot more. The other thing worth noting is that I don't remember what I was going to say. The other thing worth noting is that I'm going to make another video with whatever it was I was going to say. I haven't had enough coffee. Okay, bye.